Welcome to the Easier Way to Sell presentation of Close the Deal Without Selling. Here's your host and developer of the Easier Way to Sell, Ike Krieger.
Hey, this is Ike Krieger. Welcome back. Hi, and welcome to this episode of Close the Deal Without Selling. I know I'm excited about it because this is the very first of our nearly 50 episodes that's entirely on video. You'll be able to watch this if you go to our YouTube channel, Close the Deal Without Selling. And for those of you who are used to listening to this, you can still find the podcast on your favorite podcast provider. So I invite you to listen to it, to watch it, to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And I think you're in for a really good episode. So stick around. Are you a first-time listener, or now I can say a first-time viewer? Then I want to say welcome. I invite you to go back to our very early episodes and find out what this system is all about and how it can help you turn your contacts into contracts more easily and more often. We've got a really good episode for you here today, and what we'll be covering is ways to sell that remove stress from your life. In other words, we're going to be talking about what happens when stress becomes distress and how this system can just remove the distress, because all you're having is an authentic conversation and your prospects will love that. Enjoy the episode. In this episode of Close the Deal Without Selling, I'm going to fulfill on a request that I received some months ago, followed by the same request last month from one of our listeners named Sebastian. He asked, when are we going to be able to see a demonstration of the system that we can witness? Well, good news. That's what this episode is all about. You're going to witness firsthand the de-stressing power and the sales effectiveness of the Easier Way to Sell. And I'm delighted that my friend Nikki Basi is going to come and assist me in this educational role play. This entire episode really focuses on the fact that one of the reasons that you get stressed when you go out to sell is because you have to perform. When you're giving your presentation, it's a performance that has to be right. When you handle objections, you have to handle them perfectly. And when you end up going for the close to your sale, you have to do it correctly so you don't end up with maybe or I want to think about it. That's what the Easier Way to Sell will bring to you. I invite you to listen to this presentation and see if you can pick out the presentation that I do. If you find one, I'd be surprised because there is no presentation. What about objections? No objections. And when you have to go and close the sale, how wonderful would it be if your prospect did that for you? I know, as backwards as this sounds, it really does work that way. It just occurred to me that I've been retired over 10 years now, and this is probably the first time that I've gone through this exercise in a long time, and I couldn't be any more delighted to be taking part in sharing this with you. So, watch and enjoy.
Of course. Okay, so we're going to do it as if I'm a potential member calling in.
You're a person who's a potential member, and you'll be answering the question, why do you want to join the chamber? That's the route we're going to be going. And I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the different phases of this, but you kind of set up the ground rules and then you have a conversation, and no presentations or anything until later on, if it turns out that it's something you're interested in. And at that time, we should know exactly what you're interested in so I can show you what you're interested in rather than everything.
Right.
Okay? So, and the time now is good?
Yeah. Mhm.
Excellent, excellent. Hello, everybody. I'm here with my good friend, Nikki Basi, who became a good friend through the Northridge, California Chamber of Commerce. She took over as president and CEO. And at the time you were seeing this or sometime before, she has moved on to greater things in her life, but will always be a part of the chamber. And within the last little while, we had been discussing the close the deal without selling system. And we went through a little bit of a role play at Nikki's office at the chamber. And Nikki said, "Hey, I like this. We should record this." And I said, "Oh, yes, we should." So that's what we're going to do today. And it's going to be a simple role play of me sharing the system for you, the listener, with Nikki calling in about an organizational, a chamber membership. And it's just a reminder that this is a communications process designed to sell anything, but it's designed to sell nothing. It's designed to teach us that instead of selling, you have an upfront, authentic conversation with somebody that wants to talk to you, and you move on from there to see if there's a fit. And that's what we're going to do right now. Is that an okay way to begin?
I think it's a great idea.
Excellent. All right. So I hate to be quaint with this, but as we do the role play, I must get into it correctly. So with your permission, ring, 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 you're up. Hello, this is the chamber office. My name's Ike. Who's this?
Hi, Ike. My name is Nikki Basi.
Hi, Nikki. So to what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I was just calling in today and hoping you could answer a few questions about chamber membership. I'm thinking about joining the chamber and I wanted to know a little bit more about what you do.
Fantastic. I'll be happy to tell you everything. May I ask a couple of questions first?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. What business are you in?
So I own a small, hold on, we'll strike that. But what do you want? What kind of business do you want me to own? Do you want me to have a specific?
Pick one that you think would be helpful. That would be helpful for you to think of the challenges you'd be having. Like, is it a small?
Okay, I got one. I got
shop?
one.
You got one. So who are you?
One.
Tell me who you are.
Okay.
Before we get going, who are you?
Yeah, sure. So
no, tell me before we go back into role play.
So I own a bakery.
A bakery.
And I have two part-time employees.
And are we in the midst of the pandemic?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, very good. All right, I will be. So we'll just start over once more with feeling, and I'll just do the lead in just for the heck of it. So I'll have two takes of it. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm delighted to have one of my good friends, Nikki Basi, visit with us today and help me share the system with you. I met Nikki through the North Valley Chamber of Commerce in Northridge, California. And Nikki was our president and CEO and did a marvelous job. And by the time you see this, I believe she's moving to the greener pastures of business, but will always be involved with the chamber. And we're happy for whatever time you can, send to our really committed chamber members. Approximately 4 or 5 months ago, before this craziness started, I had visited with Nikki in her office and shared with her the easier way to sell system, how to close the deal without selling. And we went through a little bit of it. And Nikki's first response was, "Hey, I like this. We should record this." And I said, "Okay." So now we're doing it. Welcome, Nikki.
Thank you so much, Ike. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
Oh, I'm happy that we're getting a chance to do this. Plus, I get to share some time with you. Nikki and I are going to do a role play where she's the owner of a small business. And what is the business?
So
Have you
today I'm playing the
decided?
role. Yes, so I'm going to say that I own a bakery.
A
So it's
bakery.
a
Ooh,
small
that's
business.
sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Good. A
Yep.
bakery. And Nikki will be role playing a call to the chamber, and I'm going to be the membership representative that handles the call. And I will share my communication through the system. And that's basically it. And I'm very excited to do this and to make this an official role play. Either you or I can start it off with the ring, 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 but one of us has to do it.
Okay. Uh, let's
Me or
see.
you?
So I guess if I'm the one calling, I should be the one doing the ring, 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 right?
Perfect, perfect. This is pro material. Who does the ring, ring, ring?
Look, we are not low budget here. This is not amateur hour, okay?
I'll put in a sound effect later, okay?
Okay, right. Okay, so
You're
I'll do my
on.
best.
Action.
All right, so ring. Like a
Hello.
really old.
I'm putting you on hold, my dear. 4 hours. No, never. Uh, Hello, this is Ike. You've reached the North Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, wonderful, Ike. I was hoping I would be able to get a hold of you. I own a small business and I was calling to chat with you about potential chamber membership.
Oh, marvelous. What type of business?
So I own a bakery, so
Oh,
a very small business. I'm there, like most business owners, 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then I have two part-time employees as well to help me out and hoping to grow and be able to bring more on too.
that's exciting. We have a lot of members who can identify with everything that you're probably experiencing right now. Uh, what prompted you to call this chamber?
So, like everyone right now, my business is having a hard time, like most businesses,
Yeah,
and we've been shut down and reopened and shut down with parameters and kind of gone in and out. And
yeah.
I've applied, for everything, and I've gotten a couple of the grants and a
Good,
loan that I know
good,
that
good,
I'll be
good.
able to pay back, and I'm thankful for that. But I'm just trying to figure out. I've never joined a chamber. I kind of never really fully understood. I know it
Hmm.
was, something people
It's a
used to do. And
chamber.
yeah, exactly. So, I just didn't really know exactly what it was, but I kind of thought, well, now's maybe the time
Great.
to look into it. I mean, what can I do?
And
So
what
maybe if there's
specifically do you want to know? What, when you called, what information were you hoping to get?
Well, I guess a good place to start is what are the membership dues? How much do you pay? What am I paying for? What do
Well,
I get for that?
cost and time are two things that are involved with the chamber. And one of the things that I do want to talk to you about is budget and give you all of the information I possibly can. But I really would like a little more information about you and your business before I start pulling out all the brochures and the flyers and start sending you stuff. And that way I can get to find out specifically what you might need. And I'll be candid with you and let you know whether or not we're the place where you should settle. And we'll cover cost and everything. Um, but if it's okay with you, what I'd like to agree on are a couple things. One is if anywhere along the line, in our conversation, you go, no, this isn't for me, that you feel comfortable saying that to me, will you?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
excellent. Because a lot of times people will end up saying, well, maybe, or I'm going to think about it when they use that really as a polite substitute for what?
No,
Yeah,
not
and so
interested.
I'm hoping that we could avoid that, and if it's a no, I'll be crushed, but I understand. And if we determine that there is a fit, then we'll be happy to talk to you about budget and what outlay you have, and find out if there's anybody else that'll be getting involved, and It's just basically, I just want to have a little conversation with you. And at the end, whatever your decision, I'll be interested in knowing what prompted you to go that way, if that's an okay way to have
Sure.
this
Yeah. Great.
conversation. Before I get into this, I just want to make sure, is everything okay with you? And do you have a family?
Yes, I do. I have a family.
So during this period of time, I know how stressful it is. Is everybody okay?
Everybody's healthy and
Yeah.
well. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
asking. And you as well?
Yeah, it is. And no, they tell you as a first sales 101, build rapport with the people. With this silly virus going around, everybody has something in common. So
Yeah,
it's been a really strange time. So
that's true.
basically, and if you could be as specific as possible, when you called, what would you like a chamber to do for you? And I realize whether you know what it does or not, if you could get one thing from a group that would help your business now, what would that be?
Uh, I'd like to put bring as many people as possible, bring as many sales as possible
Yeah,
into my store.
yeah. What are you doing now to get those sales in?
So right now we're still open and people are still,
Good,
ordering
good,
birthday
good, good.
cakes and things of that nature. One problem that we did have as a bakery was that prices went up. Some of the materials were actually really hard to get for a while.
Yeah,
It was people were hoarding
yeah.
toilet
Supply chain.
paper and yeast, which was kind of bizarre.
Yeah. Couldn't find flour for 2 months. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So that definitely impacted my business. And I did have to let my two employees go, but through the paycheck protection program, I was able to bring them back.
Excellent.
And now still, we have a little bit of business, but nothing compared to what we would typically have this time of year. And we're about to go into the holiday season, which is usually a very lucrative season for us. And so I'm just trying to make the most of
Well,
not
as a
knowing.
way to make you like me better, and as a reality, we'd be delighted to have a bakery as part of the chamber.
Yes.
That
We're quite popular in
yeah,
that
I was
way.
going to say that you'd have a good group of people for that. So, if I can double back, are you doing any advertising? What are you doing to build up your your traffic during this time?
We've done a couple sponsored Facebook ads.
Mm-hmm.
And we are part of a couple little networking groups, but nothing that's quite. We kind of thought maybe that the chamber could be kind of a comprehensive program, like an all-in-one stop
You know
shop.
more about the chamber than you let on.
Okay.
That's pretty much what it is.
Well, that's what I'm hoping it is.
It is, but that's my opinion, and it's yours that counts. So, as we get into this, the question will be, we talked about budget. The cost for a membership is approximately, there's an outlay over the year that would be somewhere, I would say, between $400 and $500 with all the events. If someone takes advantage of all the events and the membership for the first year. Second year, if you stay on, probably the same amount. The question is what are you getting for that? And the question that I have is that if I told you that to be successful in a chamber of commerce, you not only had to budget those dollars, but you also had to budget approximately 2 to 3 hours a week, where would that time come from?
Well, that doesn't really seem like that much money if you're thinking of it in terms of return of investment, right? So
Okay, I think you're right. Good for
know,
you. A lot of people look at it and say, but for what you get here, I think you probably hit it on the head.
Yeah, no, I think that, I mean, I should have at least 2 to 3 hours to spend investing in my business outside of my
Excellent.
business walls per
So,
week.
in doing that, you mentioned that you're involved with some networking groups. How are those working for you?
Um, they're okay. They bring something around, here or there, but I'm kind of looking for a more serious minded organization that's a little bit more than just one thing, or doesn't just do another thing. It kind of has a built-in marketing mechanism as
Mhm.
well, which I think a chamber might have as well. um, and I just think that it really legitimizes your business. I like the
There's a
thought
lot
of
of that.
that.
Are you political at all? I'm not concerned about your affiliation. I just want to know if you're interested in the political side of things, because if you're not, I won't go into who we have contact with, but that
Hey, it's always good to be connected to the local officials in your area. Is that something that the chamber
that
does?
is something that the chamber does. And should
Wow.
you need to make contact with people, our organization, and especially some of our board members, et cetera, have been involved with people who look to the chamber to support them. So it's a two-way street, but we are
You
on
know
the same
what?
street.
Now that I think about it, I remember seeing a Facebook post about when this COVID kind of hit. One of my friends, I remember her business had to close. And I remember her saying that it might have been the chamber, that there was an organization that she was a part of that actually called the city on her behalf and was able to help get their doors reopened. I feel like that was,
That's
it saved her business,
good.
truly
I
saved her
don't
business.
know if
So
that was us, but yes, that's the type of thing with no guarantee that we can save a business. But in
right.
terms of cutting through some of the red tape and that fog of not understanding,
Well,
this
so let
chamber
me
is pretty
ask
good.
you this, Ike.
Okay.
So if I were to put together some sort of flyer or brochure, a marketing material, do you have an email service or something like that you use, that all of the members and maybe community members or people belong to, where I could send my flyer out through the
I'm
chamber? Do you do anything like that?
I'm trying to avoid answering yes too quickly. Yes, yes.
You
All
do?
of
Okay.
those things. This is, if you look at pretty much everything that we're in, everything is a business, and so is the chamber. It's a not-for-profit, but it's still a business. And what's helped this chamber exist as long as it has, which is a long time, and what it goes to is it's run like a business for business people. And so one of the things that other business people want, just so you know you're not alone, is the ability to contact the community and other business people, so they know that they can get together and have the support of those people, including but not limited to, I believe we're in excess of 300, 400 members right now. I apologize. I should know that exact number, but imagine having a referral force of 300 to 400 people. I
Yeah,
mean,
that sounds
now
great.
that's what happens, and they might get a note from the office saying they're having a ribbon cutting or a grand reopening, and
Oh, I
in
would
doing
love to
that,
do that.
yeah,
Oh, that
or
sounds great.
plan Christmas ahead, and Christmas in October, order
Yeah,
something
that's what
now.
I was thinking. If I can
Yeah,
send out some pictures
yeah,
of my
and
my Christmas and Hanukkah America
Oh, good,
Creations.
good,
I feel like that would
good.
right there pay for itself in the membership
I think so.
investment
Well, I have another
dues.
place for you to spend your money too. And that's if you want to sponsor one of our breakfasts or sponsor
Oh,
one of our lunches. And then you get to speak to the whole group about what you're doing. You can hand out your flyers right then and there. And it's just another way of saying, I support the chamber and I'm really excited that the chamber supports me. So that's
wow.
basically what's
I
going
think I
on.
would love to sponsor an event. That sounds like a great
Well,
opportunity.
it sounds like, based on what I'm hearing, that what I've shared with you is kind of what you were looking for. Is that a fair statement?
I mean, it's almost as if I dreamed up a wish list and you guys are able to provide those
You're,
services to
you're making me
me.
smile. Uh, I could go through all of our brochures and flyers and show you that, but I think you've got the gist now of what we are. We're a business that supports businesses, and that's
Wow.
what a chamber of commerce is. There, you hear about different chambers of commerce in different places. They have different mission statements, but ours is to help businesses, especially businesses like yours. So, what's our next step?
I mean, I guess the question that I have for you is I would say when can I come to an event, but I don't imagine you're meeting in person right now. Are you guys have you found a way to gather virtually yet?
We have, and it's been very nice. And the new members that are coming on are saying, "Oh, I'm finally seeing other people. I'm so
Yes.
happy." So it's been a really interesting experience, one that I hope we avoid repeating. But in terms of the chamber's flexibility in making this happen and supporting our members, we're doing the best we can. I mean, everybody's going through this, and I wish that the chamber, I wish that I had the answer, but what I would like to make this as easy for you as
Well,
possible. And
let,
if, I'm sorry, go ahead,
let me ask you a question.
please.
Is there a way that I could become a member where you could send information, I could apply, and if we at the next lunch or breakfast, would you be able to announce me as a new member so that everybody knew that I was a new member and I could let them know where my bakery is so they could come in and get a muffin or something of that nature?
Come in and
Come
get
in
a
and get a
muffin.
muffin.
I like that. Everything that you're asking about is exactly what's going to happen. So if you picture yourself 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks in the future, and you're looking at what's going on, and in the future you see yourself smiling, that's what I'm telling you is going to happen. And as long as you know that it takes effort. It takes the
Oh,
time
absolutely.
like building any other network. But once you're in this network, and I've been involved with this chamber for 20 years. So
Wow.
I have watched it grow and watched it do what I am sharing with you right now. And, you know, I'm an old guy. I wouldn't be sitting here doing this with you if I didn't think it was worthwhile. So I believe on our website, you can get the information that you need to get us your application. And based on our conversation, I'm delighted that that we're going to be working together. I asked you a favor at the beginning. Could you tell me now? You seem really motivated. What was it about our conversation that has you going, yeah, I'm going to do this?
I think that so I know the website's nvrcc.org. I went on the
NVRCC,
website
North, good,
nvrcc.org. I
good.
went on
You
there
found it.
and I saw and you can join there and I looked and I saw
Yep.
the different members and the different events and things of that nature and I just
Lots of
thought, well, this
stuff.
kind of sounds too good to be true. Let me
Then
call and
forget about it.
forget it all. No, I just, I called and I already kind of felt like maybe I should, but then I just wasn't sure. And I think everything that you've said's just confirmed that
Well,
I don't need
excellent.
to join all of these different little things or spread myself too thin here and there. I just want to join the great organization that kind of lends itself to all the different needs of my business right now.
I'm getting really good feeling from how you're, excuse me. I'm getting a really good feeling of how you're relating to this, and it's going to be fun when we see each other to look at each other and smile and go, hey, nice. It was good.
Yes.
It was good. Well, I appreciate that. Is there anything else that we need to discuss before we say goodbye?
No, I just thank you so much for your time, Ike. I'm really excited. I'm so glad that I called in today.
Me too.
And I'm going to go to nvrcc.org and sign up. And you're going to announce me as a new member at the next lunch or
you want
breakfast
me to do that?
Right?
If you want me to do that, I will.
Yeah!
I'll be very happy to. I'll have to bribe our MC to let me talk, but
okay. Don't let me down, Ike. Don't let me down.
I won't let you down. Nikki, I'm delighted that you're going to be joining us at the Chamber. And I guess it's in keeping to say that I'm really glad you called.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for the work that you're doing to support the businesses.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And just, it's something that I believe in. And I think you'll end up feeling the same way too. I've got that feeling myself. Take care. I will let you go now, and we'll talk very shortly, I'm sure, and I'll look forward to getting your paperwork.
Be safe and well. Thanks, Ike. Appreciate it.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Cut. All right. So there was the role play, and it could have gone any way, but I want to ask Nikki, just from the standpoint of hearing the system versus the tradition. I used to be a speech teacher. The traditional way of giving a presentation and giving people all the features and benefits. How do you see this being an option that's worth taking on?
Oh, I think it's great. I think that, I really think this is going to be a very successful program, because what it allows the person to do is to realize that I'm already calling you for a reason. I already have an interest. So the most important thing that you don't want to do is say something that's going to talk me out of why I called in the first place, right? So you're more asking me, what do I like? And I pretty much sold myself on the membership, right? Because I knew why I was calling in.
And I didn't get in your way.
You didn't get in my way.
Yeah. Thank you, because a lot of people hear this and they go, what do you mean you don't do a presentation? What do you mean you don't get objections? What do you mean your prospect's giving you the presentation? And I went, it's just the way it works. It's a conversation. And if you're really, really interested in what the other person has to say, and you're able to ask them questions about what they want, and you'll hear 2 or 3 answers and you'll go, yeah, I think we're going to be able to help this person. But again, when I say it, it's selling. When you say it, it's true.
Yeah.
And that's what's so different in some of the other approaches to selling. It's about, here's what we can do for you. Here's what we can do for you. And I don't know if people respond to that as well as we think they do. I think they think they're being sold to, and most people start to put up their guard. And in this place, who are they guarding themselves from? All I'm doing is asking some questions. So there's the spiel.
I like it.
I do too. Well, once again, thank you very much for taking the time to do this. I've been looking forward to this ever since we talked about it.
I have too.
And I am looking forward to this being up pretty soon. So I will let you know, and we could look at it and go, hey, I know those people.
Yeah, those 2 good-looking kids.
yeah, kids. I was talking to my brother-in-law, and his birthday's in a couple of days, and I remember being at his wedding, and I've known him a long time, and
boy.
He's going to be 75. And I went, whoa. And he goes, yeah, you're a young whippersnapper. I said, yeah, I'm going to be 73. So
wow. Well, my grandpa, is going to be 90
Yes.
in less than a month. And he still is a member. You'll appreciate this. He's still a member in 3 Toastmaster clubs.
Oh.
3. I've been in 1, and it takes up so much time. It's a wonderful organization, but to be, I mean, he is still driving. He's not right now, unfortunately, but he got on Zoom. My 90-year-old grandpa can get on Zoom and make use of it for his meetings. I think the rest of us can as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to a lot more years now. I remember when I was younger, 73 was a lot older.
Yeah.
So, okay, my dear, I'm so delighted we had this time. Do you have any questions or anything?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. And if you want to do anything else, like, I'm in. So just let me know if there's any other, videos that you want to do or anything else for the program.
Yeah, you were just like right on with this. It was real good.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's good. I like it a lot.
Good. Okay, my dear, have the best day, and I hope your meeting goes well. Say hi to your lovely daughter when you see her, and
thanks,
if there's anything you need, you make sure you let me know, okay?
I appreciate that. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode. And I want to once again thank Nikki Basi for being involved in sharing with you how the system can actually work in real life. And I promise you, the way that you saw the system in action is the way the system will work for you. Your prospects will close the deal themselves. That's how you close the deal without selling. You create an environment where the prospect does, I won't even call it work, they just give you enough information that allows you to help them solve their problem. Next week, if you have the problem of high income, but it's not high enough in your business, our guest, Mary Grothe, is going to tell you some steps that she offers to her clients that will help you, if you're doing really well, do even better. So make sure you visit us next episode. This is Ike Krieger. See you next time.